Up next on End of the Day Beer Review, we're going to be looking at Double Duck. This is an Imperial Porter with cocoa nibs, coconut, and vanilla. And it is by Greenport Harbor Brewing Company, and it comes in at 9.8% ABV. Check it out. Hi everybody, it's Rich, and welcome to End of the Day Beer Review. And today we are going to be looking at Double Duck. This is an Imperial Porter with cocoa nibs, coconut, and vanilla. It is 9.8% ABV, and this is, let's see, brewed on Long Island. So this is actually brewed reasonably close, probably 30-40 miles away from where I am. So readily available on Long Island, and I'm sort of interested to see how this turns out. Now, you know, I could talk about it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to be using my Guinness glass here. This is slowly but surely becoming one of my favorite pieces of glassware. I just like the size. I can't over pour. It's just a really nice Imperial pint glass. So let's crack this open. Now, normally in the bar, not normally, but a lot of times in the bar, when I open up the beer, the first thing you get is some, you know, aroma coming out of the can. There's nothing overwhelming. There's nothing that's just like overwhelming with this one yet. But again, this isn't really, ooh. So this is pouring very, very dark. In fact, I would say it's almost jet black. So I wasn't expecting it to be quite this dark. And like I said, one of the reasons I like this glass, whole beer fits in it. So now I'm getting a lot of aroma. There's a tremendous amount of chocolate. I want to say I'm getting something else, but I'm not sure what it is. But the bar has filled up with a very nice aroma of sort of a dark, yeah, sort of a dark chocolate. And I mean like the type of dark chocolate that, you know, like the organic dark chocolate that's sort of not quite sweet, sort of bitter. That's sort of the aroma that I'm getting here. Not much of a head on this. There is a little bit of, you know, a little bit of a head. It's almost like a dusting on top of carbonation. You know, not even a finger's worth. I shouldn't have poured the whole beer into this, but not much in the way of legs, just a little bit of lacing. And we'll look at that after we actually taste it. Let's check out the nose on this. I'm getting a lot of chocolate. I also want to say that I'm getting, it's almost a coffee-ish aroma, sort of a smokiness to it. And again, I'm sort of equating that with coffee. It might not be, but it does seem to be chocolate. There does seem to be sort of that, again, sort of roasty aroma to it that I associate with coffee. So, yeah, it's definitely sort of a roasted aroma mixed in with that chocolate. Let's see how it tastes. That's the most important thing. Yeah, there's a lot of that roastedness to it. I'm getting chocolate. It says coconut and vanilla, but oh, there's cacao nibs in it. I'm getting a lot of dark chocolate on the front end. Am I getting, what else? All right, how to describe this? Front of the tongue is all chocolate. Back of the tongue, you're getting sort of that sweetness that I'm associating with the vanilla. What I'm not getting here is really any coconut. And that's not to say it's a bad beer. It's actually quite nice. It's not as viscous. It's not syrupy. It's a reasonably light drinking beer. Excuse me. The carbonation is good. It's just enough to sort of bring that flavor out as you're drinking it. So I like that a lot. And there's a little bit of smokiness as the aftertaste. You know, almost like a good, like, you know, the smoke you get when you smell like somebody else's fireplace. That's sort of what I'm getting here as well. It's a really nice combination of sort of chocolate with a little vanilla on the back end with that smokiness that's there. This is a well put together beer. There's also a certain dryness to this, you know, almost like a little bit of pucker to the tongue. I don't want to say it's bitterness or anything like that. It's a very enjoyable beer to drink, and it's surprisingly light, especially considering this is 9.8% ABV. I'm not getting any of the alcohol burn that I would associate with, you know, let's say 8 or above. But there's a nice smoky finish to it that I was not expecting at all, but I'm really enjoying. So again, as you drink it, on the front end of the tongue, you're getting all of that cacao. Then the vanilla is sort of a hint on the back end of the tongue. And to finish it off, the aftertaste, like I said, is this really nice sort of smokiness that's just really hinted at the end and as you're sitting there with the aftertaste on your tongue. This is an excellent beer. You know, I was saying on one of my earlier reviews that 2023 has turned out to be, at least for me, a really good year for beer. And this is a very good beer that I think I'm going to sit back and enjoy for the rest of the evening. Again, this is called Double Duck. This is an Imperial Porter, and it is got cocoa nibs, coconut, and vanilla in it. And it's by Greenport Harbor Brewing Company, coming in at 9.8% ABV. And I gotta tell you, if you're on Long Island or in New York and you see this one, I don't know if they ship outside of New York. That's the only reason I'm saying. I would pick one up. This is definitely worth trying. It's a nice, complex, enjoyable beer, and yet it's not so overly heavy that, you know, you're going to be just done. You know, it's not gonna like weight down, you know, a meal. This I think would go really well with, like, you know, honestly, I think this would go really well with just about anything. You know, like a nice steak, a nice piece of chicken. This is a nice accompaniment type of beer. And again, it is Greenport Harbor Brewing Company, and it is brewed and canned by Greenport Harbor Brewing Company in Peconic, New York, which is sort of out on the, I want to say it's the North Fork of Long Island. So definitely one that I would try if you see. So Double Duck Imperial Porter, one to check out if you see. Anyway, folks, I am going to sit back, enjoy the rest of this one. If you like the review, please subscribe. I'd love to hear any comments that you have about this beer. If you've tried something else from Greenport Brewing Company, Greenport Harbor Brewing Company, I'd love to hear any feedback. If you have a favorite Long Island beer, I'd love to hear about that too, because I'll go out there, get it, and give it a try. Anyway, folks, I'm gonna go and enjoy the rest of this. Cheers and good night.